All right, question for you. When you're in your car, you're looking down at your gas gauge. Where's your yellow line and where's your red line? What I mean by that, where does the gas gauge line have to be before something in the back of your mind just starts nudging you, saying, we need to think about getting gas soon? And then where's the red line? Where's the point when that line gets to it? That something in the back of your mind starts freaking out a little bit, saying, I need to go get some gas pretty soon, if not now. As humans, we are all different. But there are contexts in which we are similar to others. And I think there's two big groups in this scenario. I think you got one group who is very comfortable with letting that gas gauge get almost all the way down to empty, where the little warning light is on, and they're still in their head saying, it's okay, we'll make it, we're gonna be fine. And then you got the other group that I fall in, who if my gauge gets anywhere near the empty mark, I'm probably about to have one of my versions of a panic attack. And I'm on my maps, praying that there's an exit coming up soon, even though there's probably still 50 miles worth of gas left in the tank. As humans, we're all different like that. Why is that important? That's what we're going to talk about today. All right, welcome back to my channel, y'all. My name is Trey. My trail name is Early Riser. And really, this channel's nothing more than when something comes across my mind that I think's worth talking about, I'm just gonna hit record and spit it out and hope that something valuable to you comes out. And all I ask is that hopefully you like and subscribe to the channel, because it just helps the channel out and it's free to you. But also, you'll go down in the comments and give us your experience on whatever the topic is for the day. All right, so the first thing I want you to do when this video's over is go down in the comments and let us know which one of those people you are. Which side of that argument do you fall in? Again, my yellow line is ridiculous. It's somewhere probably around half a tank of gas, if not a little bit higher. My red line, quarter of a tank. Quarter of a tank, I'm looking for a gas station. I'm gonna go ahead and fill up. Why? I don't know. I think it's probably because I'm always so anxious and thinking ahead. What if this happens? What if that happens? I want to have gas. A key example is you're coming home. Your tank's under a quarter of a tank. It's winter time. I want to know, no matter what happens with the weather or whatever else, I've got a full tank of gas. You can remember not too many years ago when gas supplies got really low and stations were out. Almost like, I remember that from the 70s when I was little. Gas lines at the pumps. Well, I've got 20 gallons of gas sitting in my garage just waiting, just going bad, honestly. So I'm always thinking, always planning, always prepping. That's good. There's probably some people who aren't that way saying, yeah, I should probably do a little bit more of that. Maybe you should. But I think there's people like me, and maybe far more extreme than me, that are also saying, yeah, I wish I could chill out a little bit on that. And I do. And then there's the people on the other aisle. This guy at work some years ago, and I asked just human behavior. I'm so interested in it, and my job was perfect for that. I would ask people this, but one certain guy, he was so comfortable with his gas tank being almost on empty that it stressed me out. And he knew it. And so he'd always be sure if we were on a trip together and renting a car together, he'd always let his car get way down to empty before he'd go fill it up. Entertaining and also freeing in a lot of aspects. And I think that's why I wanted to talk about this today. What are the things in your life? What are the habits that you have that are good and healthy? And then what are some of the habits that you have that tend to trip you up and you're a little too excessive on it? I think that would be a great self-reflection for all of us. And to hear other people's experience down in the comments just lets the rest of us know that we're not alone in our mania. We're also not alone in some of the things that we value, that we're proud that we do. So again, when you get done with this video, please go down in the comments and let us know where you fall in that meter. So here's the next question. So you can test your extremeness of conscientiousness. If I went to your closet, what am I going to see when it comes to your clothes hung up? Do you have all your pants and your shirt separated? Yeah, that's about where I'm at. Do you go a step further? Do you have all your short sleeves together, your long sleeve shirts together, your tan pants, your blue jeans? Do you have all that separated? Getting a little crazy. How much farther do you go? I used to ask this question all the time to the operators and support folks at my unit because I love the answers. And then over the years, I started learning more about people where I could read them really quickly. And that was one of the things I always brought up. If I just met you, I could assess your personality pretty quick, could assess your conscientiousness pretty quick. And then I would go up to people and like, I bet if I walked in your closet, I would see this, like all your short sleeves arranged. Your clothes are color coordinated from left to right or right to left. And I could nail them about 80 to 90% of the time. A lot of times they were more extreme than I even guessed. So again, in the comments, what's your closet look like? How extreme are you about making it so neat? Now, on the conscientiousness scale, and I've taken plenty of tests, I'm freaking almost off the charts. And if you don't know, all conscientiousness is how ordered somebody is, how orderly they like the environment, also how motivated and driven they are to do things that they're focused on. So for me, I'm very conscientious about getting up at the same time. I've told y'all before, I'm very structured in my life, almost to a fault. And me telling you that, I'm almost off the scale of conscientiousness. As soon as I saw that multiple times, I started knowing instantly that I should probably be a little more self-aware of that because it's probably hurting me in some ways. Because we all think, man, we're doing things perfect. Like, you should be more like me because I'm doing good. Where if we become a little more self-aware, we start realizing some of the things I'm doing are really tripping me up. They're obstacles in my path, and I haven't even realized it because they become a blind spot. And until I started getting feedback from other people, from taking surveys, I was just running blind. And once I figured out that, I'm a little too conscientious in some areas, it wasn't until then that I could start adjusting some of it. Oddly, my closet, I've never been conscientious about. My desk at work, kind of messy, not overly messy, but if you open up one of my drawers, it was not arranged at all. But I'm more conscientious about other things. I'm really like, if if I had a promotion test or something coming up, you won't find somebody more dedicated and orderly about how they're studying for that. My drive is off the charts. You will not outstudy me. Things like that. But again, there's cost to the other side of that. I would forego some family events because I was too busy studying. That still happens in my life today. So it's always a balancing act. People that are low on conscientiousness, man, let me tell you, like when I see people who are a little more carefree, a little less, I call them the underplanners when we're through hiking, right? And I still owe a video on underplanners. Man, that looks like heaven to me sometimes, because they're not sitting there so worried about every little thing, and they're not 3 days ahead in their mind trying to plan everything. They're just going with the flow. And there's a balance to that too, obviously. Too much of that, and then you start affecting everybody around you because people are having to take on some tasks that you're probably not thinking about or not doing. There's tons of things we could talk about there. So if you're an underplanner and you haven't assessed how that's affecting other people around you, you really should take the time to do it. Get some feedback from people who will be honest with you and just see how that's affecting their life. Now let's talk about marriages. You've heard me say before, if you've seen my videos, that it's a pretty documented fact that opposites attract most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. And it is amazing how true that plays out, especially when you're looking at things like conscientiousness. You'll have one person who wants the house neat and orderly, everything in its place, aggravated if the other spouse leaves dishes out or doesn't put their clothes up. Or for me and my wife, it's, for some reason, I don't shut the drawers all the way to my dresser. I'll leave them cracked just an inch. I don't know why I do that. But she has mentioned it to me several times over our 20 plus years of being married. And you think it would just be something easy, me giving her an easy win and make sure those drawers are shut. And I catch myself every now and then, and again, I'm high on conscientiousness, and I would argue that she's not. But I think that's the beauty of being married, is we're not all perfect on one side of the scale or the other. Some things bug us. We all have our pet peeves. And as a married couple, that's what you have to learn to work through. And if you can't, you're probably not going to be married very long. So again, human behavior, fascinating. So which one are you? Are you the underplanner, low conscientiousness partner, or are you the overplanner, high conscientiousness partner in your marriage? And what's the balance there? What are some of your pet peeves? What are some of her pet peeves? Again, write these things in the comments, because we all get to learn and realize that we're not alone on an island somewhere. That there are some other people out there who are similar to me, and maybe I can learn to better manage my conscientiousness. I guess I shouldn't let me off the hook. I gave you one of my wife's pet peeves. One of my pet peeves are vehicles. Again, strange that's where my conscientiousness lies. I don't know why. I'm always under the opinion, man, if you're going to pay a lot for a vehicle or have a vehicle, you should keep it nice and clean. Let me tell you, me and my lovely wife differ greatly on how our vehicles look. To the point she just doesn't want people to go in her vehicle because she doesn't want to hear about it. And again, I can't help, if she's outside and I walk by her vehicle, I will look in it and she just says, just shut up. I don't want to hear it. It's funny. That's just one of my pet peeves. God knows I have a bunch. I like to have my dream home would be one where everything is in its exact place. And that's just not reality after you've been married for 20 something years and you're both in your mid to late 50s. You've acquired a lot of stuff. I want to be the minimalist, which I suck at it, but I think my dream would be, hey, let's be minimalist and get rid of all this stuff that we don't need. And then, you know, she comes from a long background of, her family has a lot of stuff. She's got some antiques. We have a garage that's half full of some stuff, and, you know, having to find that balance is hard because you can't have a lot of stuff and things be neat and orderly most of the time. So again, between us, it's always that balancing act. And I'd love to hear how you and your spouse have to balance that in your relationship. Very interesting. Again, human behavior blows my mind. It's wild. And then maybe the last topic that I'm always interested in, and I would love to get feedback from you guys, is your children. We only have one. He is obviously a mixture of both of us, and we both say all the time that he's just like you. He's just like you. And my wife will say, hey, look at him. He's just acting just like you. And there's truth to both of those statements. And it's funny, and I love it. Folks, having children is the most magical thing in the world. And if you have children, I know you know that already. Only usually older people watch my videos, but if you're younger and you're thinking about having children, don't wait as long as you have everything sorted out in your relationship and life's good, because it is freaking magical, man. They are incredible. But he's a introvert, so he got that from me, not his mom. But he can push out of that when he needs to. He's definitely closer to the ambivert middle than I am. He is very conscientious when it comes to schoolwork, kind of like me. If he's got something to study, he'll do it. He's also a little low conscientious when it comes to keeping his room clean. What teenager isn't? Most, I would argue, are. I'm sure there's some out there who are very neat and orderly, but that isn't his strong suit, and it's okay. He does it when he has to. But I get to listen. All the guys that I worked with have multiple kids, and it was always so entertaining to hear them talk about the differences between their kids. Like if they had two, one of them would be a giant introvert, and the other one would be this blossoming extrovert. And it's so fun to listen to them. One of them's a pig, and in their room, keeps their room all like a pigsty, and then the other one's very neat and orderly. One's a great student, the other one hates school. How has that played out in your life? How did you and your spouse manage that as they were growing up? How do you manage it now when Christmas comes and they come home to visit? Or I'm just so interested in all that. And I know other people that are watching this are too. So it'd be really cool if you just let us know what's going on in your world. So as a community, we can just all kind of come together and read about other people's lives and realize that ours seems crazy at times, but it's really just kind of normal. And we're all dealing with the same things, and we can all help each other out. All right. Until the next episode, if you aren't meditating, by the way, you're already behind in life. I don't care if you're middle-aged. I don't care if you're old. Start meditating. It will change your life. Down in the video description, I've got a link to my meditation channel. It's called Trapdoor Meditations. Click that link, find a quiet room, throw on some headphones, and let me walk you through about a 13 to 15 minute meditation. All right, y'all. It's Friday here. I guess it's Friday everywhere. But I hope y'all have a great weekend, and I will see y'all back here or somewhere next time.